afternoon, Year 6.
Good afternoon, Mrs.
Thanks. And today is chapter 17, Desserts Galore.
Ooh.
Crash! At that moment, the garage door smashed open. Ah! Stella took a sharp intake of breath. Was there someone or something out there? There was a blizzard raging outside and snow swirled inside. Stella ran to the doors, and with her all the weight battled to fight the strong gusts of wind. Soot followed her, and together they managed to close and bolt the door. "There's no way you can try and run away again tonight, milady," said the ghost. "You'll have to wait until the storm dies down. But for now, it looks like it's here to stay." Panic flashed across the little girl's face. "But I don't dare wait another moment. My aunt has already tried to poison me. And Mama and Papa. Who knows what she will try and do next? I have to call the police." "Don't you think we need some more evidence first?" suggested Soot. "No, I have to call right now," exclaimed the girl. "But it's very dangerous." "Why?" "There are only 2 telephones in this house. One is in Alberta's room, but she keeps the door locked at all times. The other is in Papa's study, and my aunt is convinced the deeds to Saxby Hall are in there. She's spending all day and all night in that study, turning the whole place upside down." Soot thought for a moment. "Maybe I can try and cause a diversion." "Like what?" I don't know. Throw some plates around. Us ghosts love doing stuff like that. It normally works a treat." "But what if you get caught?" asked Stella. In the short time she had known this little chimney sweep, she had become rather fond of him. And there they are, looking at each other in fondness. Aww. "Aunt Alberta is a grown-up and she's not going to be able to see me." Oh, wrong voice, sorry. "Aunt Alberta is a grown-up. She's not going to be able to see me, is she?" Note that Soot's gone from Cockney to Yorkshire. Now he's a bit Somerset. "Yes, of course," replied the girl, still struggling to remember all those ghost rules. "What about Wagner?" "We'll have to pray he's sleeping. This is one scary owl." Stella and Soot tiptoed along the corridor. The grandfather clock gave them both a fright as it chimed midnight. Bong!
Bong. Bong.
Bong!
Bong. Bong.
Bong!
Bong.
Bong! Bong!
Bong.
Soon they reached the entrance to the grand dining room. They peeked their heads around the door and saw Alberta and Wagner enjoying a midnight feast. No doubt the woman thought her niece was still safely locked up in the coal cellar where she had left her. How could she have known that Stella was in fact just a few steps away? The woman sat at one end of the endless dining table. Her pet owl was perched at the other, a napkin tied around his neck. A huge candelabrum with 20 or so candles burning on it illuminated the room. The table was piled high with desserts. That's all Aunt Alberta ever ate. She never had a main course or a starter. She would scoff desserts for breakfast, lunch and dinner. That is why she was as wide as she was tall. There were desserts galore. A giant apple strudel made from at least 100 apples. A towering pyramid of chocolate balls. Eclairs the size of pillows. A huge chocolate cake oozing with buttercream. Cream puffs piled up to the ceiling. A trifle so big that you could swim in it. Deep fried donuts pumped full of jam. A mouth-watering Black Forest gatto. You only had to look at it to double your body weight. A huge vat of salted caramel still bubbling from the stove. A life-sized owl made entirely of marzipan. A deep bucket of cream, that's a huge dollop of cream on top for good measure. All butter biscuits that had then been dipped in chocolate. A wobbly jelly so ginormous it could break the fall of a hippopotamus. And there they are, at the table, eating the huge feast. Like lockdown food, isn't it?
Yes.
Stella's mouth watered when she saw all this glorious food. The poor girl hadn't eaten for days. For a moment she thought she might faint at the smell of sweet food. Aunt Alberta was tucking in greedy. And then she had a big burp. Burp. Alberta could have won a bronze, silver and gold medal at the burping Olympics. Meanwhile, Wagner was helping himself from a cold buffet of dead woodland creatures. There were mice, squirrels, hedgehogs, sparrows and even a badger, all of his favourites. As the woman ate, she sifted through a large box of papers from the study, hurling documents angrily all around her. "Where are those blasted deeds?" she muttered to herself between gobbling down huge mouthfuls of Black Forest gateau. "Come on, milady," said Soot. The girl had become mesmerised by the cakes. The pair sank down to their knees and hands and crawled past the door. The very next room was Papa's study. Stella's father had always kept the room in perfect order. It was Lord Saxby's little sanctuary. Now documents, photographs, boxes, folders and books were strewn all over the floor. It was a room of doom. I put that bit in. The desk had been upturned. Glass smashed on cabinets. Papa's large leather chair had been ripped open with a knife. Aunt Alberta had clearly been looking everywhere for the deeds. The telephone usually sat on the desk, but now the study had been ransacked. It was nowhere to be seen. Stella went over to the wall and found the end of the cable. Then she traced her hand along it until she found the telephone, hiding under a large pile of papers. With the telephone safely sat on her lap, Stella signalled over to Soot, who was waiting just outside the corridor, keeping lookout. "Go!" she whispered. "What?" replied Soot. "Go!" she said, louder this time. The ghost nodded and went off to create his diversion. It was to be a pretty standard ghost throwing plates around the kitchen sort of thing, but hopefully enough to make Alberta come running and win Stella some time. You may be interested to know that the spookiest tricks favoured by the British Society of Poltergeists, the BSP, include knocking on doors and running away, putting records on the player and turning the volume dial up very loud, hurling books around the library, pushing over large items of furniture, jangling chains in the middle of the night, making two chairs dance together, levitating the cutlery, flushing the toilet when someone is sat on it, prancing around the bedroom with a bedsheet on the head. Moving objects around the house randomly, such as putting someone's underpants in the fridge. Doing an evil laugh into a jar to make it echo around the house. Drawing a rude picture of a bottom on the bathroom mirror and waiting for the mirror to steam up to be revealed. If any of those had happened to you, perhaps your house is haunted. Or it could just be your annoying little brother. The girl listened as far along the corridor plates started crashing on the floor of the kitchen. Within moments, Stella could hear Aunt Alberta shouting, "Wagner! Wagner!" from the next room. Then there was an unmistakable sound of the large woman thundering down the corridor. This was Stella's chance. She had to take it now. Right now. Right now. And the next chapter is chapter 18. Thank goodness I learned Roman numerals in school. Crackle, crackle, crackle. Until tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.